Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So big breaking news that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, and he's currently signed a 3-year deal. Breaking news has come out this morning about, well, initially Manchester United did currently say that they wanted it announced before the currently end of this month, and he's done more than enough now as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to deserve the job on a full-time basis, because obviously it's been a fantastic experience for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this 3-month period or so. The performances have been very good, the results have been very good, more or less as well. Manchester United have won 14 out of 19 games in all competitions since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. He won his first 8 games when he came in as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so he did potentially make history in the Premier League as well, which is very good, and probably he'll plan for a long tenure as Manchester United manager. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, he'll probably think ahead of the next 5 or 10 years or something like that. But obviously this is going to be a tester for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, it's very essential that he does get the right players to come to Manchester United in the summer. Reportedly, we're going to get around £200 million to spend this summer. There's key areas where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified where he thinks Manchester United need to strengthen up. We're in the search for the full-back. Obviously, we need a central defender as well. I think we're keen on having depth in our midfield, of course, as well. But it is essential that we get the right players to come to Manchester United this summer. But the results have been very good. We've won at the likes of the way at Arsenal away in the Cup. We've won at Chelsea away in the Cup. A miraculous comeback against PSG as well. Which was very good. Indeed, I said Solskjaer's definitely the right man for Manchester United. Even though we suffered back-to-back defeats, before this international break, I still think he's the right man that can elevate this team forward. Manchester United, and he's been getting the best out of the players. Which is very good. And we know obviously he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree at the moment. He hasn't really had a long tenure as manager. He hasn't really won any major honours and all that as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I do think he can start getting us back to being a competitive elite level football club, and it's very essential that Manchester United do get the right players to come in this summer as well. And I think it's been a fantastic experience for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, at the moment, working with the players, with the staff and the coaches and all that as well. And I think his philosophies are very good indeed. So I think he can bring back the Alex Ferguson days, because we know when Ferguson retired after 26 27 years, we had then 3 different managers with different philosophies. Of course, we know a lot of money's been invested since Alex Ferguson retired. Manchester United must have spent around 700-800 million pounds. Obviously the majority of that money was spent on the wrong players, but hopefully Solskjaer's now in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team of course as well, and hopefully they can get the right players there to come in this summer. Of course, there's still some contract renewals to sort out. Obviously we know players are going to leave in the summer as well, but obviously Solskjaer's been discussing with Ed Woodward about the club's summer transfer plans of course as well, and it's very essential that Manchester United can try and finish in the top 4 this season, or try and succeed in the Champions League. So we want Champions League football for next season. So in that aspect, it will make us have more of a competitive summer window, of course, as well. But it's been in regular negotiation with the board. What players should come in. What players should go in the summer. I think Solskjaer's got a rough idea. What players he's going to sanction off in the summer as well. And I think he wants about 3 or 4 players this summer. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? But don't forget, he was a great player for 11 years. Of course, he scored 126 goals in 366 appearances in all competitions. One of his most iconic moments, as a player, was obviously in 1999 as well, when he scored the winner against Bayern Munich that year. Of course, Manchester United won the treble as well. And obviously now as manager, one of his most iconic moments of the club's history, against PSG as well, when we performed that miraculous comeback, one of the greatest Champions League comebacks of all time as well. And when we do go against Barcelona in the Champions League quarter-final at the Nou Camp, it's going to bring back so much memories, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And don't forget, he managed the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years as well. He only had like a short tenure at Cardiff. He had 2 separate spells with Mold as well. So I think he has brought the fear factor back to the club. But obviously the testing now for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be the rest of this season, going on to next season of course as well. So hopefully the board, we've got a board that can invest who Solskjaer wants to bring to Manchester United in the summer of course well. So it has been officially confirmed. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Manchester United manager full time, and it is a 3-year deal he's currently signed. So this will take him under contract to probably 2022 or something like that as well. But he deserves the job, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, without shadow of a doubt. His philosophy is good. It's good that he's got a lot of belief in the young players as well. The crowd have been getting behind him, fantastically well indeed. Even though we suffered back-to-back defeats, before this international break, we've lost 3 games in all competitions, but we've only lost 1 game in the league. I think defensively, we've really improved as well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So recent reports said earlier this month he wasn't, too interested in buying in defenders. He wants to give our current defenders a chance to prove and impress themselves. But I think he's in the search now for the defender is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer, but I think his priority is to recommend a right winger to come to Manchester United this summer. We have got a host of experienced players, of course, as well, so it would be ideal maybe to get a couple of young players, that could grow, develop and mould under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But the players that I've been impressed with, the majority of the players since Solskjaer's come in, because he has give everybody the chance, including the young players, the fringe players, as he did say he would do. And, we've done really, really well considering the amount of injuries, that Manchester United have had as well. Don't forget, the amount of injuries Manchester United have had. I think it's central defensively. I think Smalling's improved since he's come back from injury. I think Lindelof's really had a good season as well this season. Potentially Luke Shaw's in good form now as well, which is very, very good. And I think I've been impressed with the majority of the team, to be quite honest with you, as well. So potentially, hopefully, he can get us back, being a competitive level football club, and he can get us back, winning major honours as well. Hopefully, so obviously we've got to get back to winning ways against Watford at the weekend, of course, to keep our top four ambitions alive, of course, as well. But it's good news. Solskjaer's got the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. Well, for a long time, obviously Ed Woodward's number one. Was obviously Mauricio Pochettino, because there was a lot of talk about Mauricio Pochettino coming in. As I did say, Manchester United didn't want Pochettino to come in, even though there's a lot of talks about it going on, because obviously he hasn't proven himself in terms of like winning any silverwares, and obviously quite a lot of pundits favoured him to come to Manchester United as well, thinking he'd be the right candidate and all that. But he doesn't know the club inside out like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's probably got a bit more managerial experience, because this is his fifth season now at Tottenham, of course. Tottenham, I think, have just got their new stadium as well. And in terms of his winning record, he's got a really, really good record as Pochettino at Tottenham. He had a good record with Southampton, when he was there, but he only had a short tenure with Southampton. Obviously, he would have had to pay a compensation of around 35-40 million pounds, to get Pochettino in, of course, as well. But obviously now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, and it is a 3-year deal. He's currently signed as well. I'm not too sure. Do we have to pay a compensation package of around 7-8 million pounds to mould or something like that as well? But yeah, great news indeed, and see who we can bring to Manchester United in the summer as well, because obviously as well we do expect departures as well. And I think Solskjaer wants around 3 or 4 signs this summer. I think he's named his 3 top targets. He wants to bring in of course as well. So we'll give you an update on a bit of transfer rumours that are going on as well. So I haven't actually explained this player to you, but his name's been mentioned quite a few times in media. He's called Aaron Wan-Bissaka, something like that. He's a Crystal Palace right back. Reportedly Manchester United have showed an interest in him. To be quite honest, his defensive capabilities are very, very good. He would be a fantastic upgrade for Ashley Young, of course, as well. He is a right back, this Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think he's rated at around 40 million pounds, or something like that. Reportedly Manchester United have been interested in him. He's only very, very young. He's 21 years of age. But he's been at Crystal Palace all his current career, of course, as well. I think he was up their youth system for about 8 or 9 years, or something like that as well. But he's only 21. I think he joined their academy at the age of 11. Did Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well. But I think he made his senior debut for Crystal Palace. Was it last year? Was it in 2018 last year? He made his senior debut for Crystal Palace. I think it was February 2018 last year, of course, as well. But reportedly his defensive capabilities are very, very good. Well, initially he was a winger, because he used to play as a winger, but now obviously he operates as a right back. Does Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of course, as well, and he's English as well. So reportedly Manchester United have showed an interest in, because obviously potentially I think we do need someone young and ambitious on that right hand side, because potentially we've got Ashley Young, of course, his age up. I think when his contract expires, he'll be definitely on his way out of Manchester United, because obviously by the time his contract expires, he'll be nearly 35 years of age or something like that. Ashley Young, he's been on 70 here for Manchester United. He's been here 7-8 seasons now, but we do know that Ashley Young's past it. Of course, as well, Antonio Valencia, of course, well, this is his 10th season at Manchester United. I think he's he's recovering from injury now. Is Antonio Valencia, but obviously he's set to leave Manchester United this summer as well. Is Antonio Valencia. Obviously, we opted against that decision, to give him that new 1-year contract extension as well. So he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer, but he has been essential over the years, so potentially probably we do need a right back, and obviously Man United have identified Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a perfect player, to fulfil that right back position, even though Diego Dalot, can play there. But some people may say, Diego Dalot, looks much better in more of an attacking role, when he's playing on the right wing, which he has been actually, playing in that, position, quite recently, when he has been playing as well, Diego Dalot. So potentially for me, we definitely, need a right back. You definitely need a right winger, of course, as well. So reportedly, Aaron Wan-Bissaka Saka has been mentioned in the media as well. I think he's rated around £40 million, but it would be a good upgrade, to Ashley Young, of course, as well. So his name's been mentioned. Of course, we definitely need a central defender, of course, well. We're in search for someone to go alongside Lindelof, because Lindelof's really improved this season. We do need someone that can partner Victor Lindelof in that central defensive area. Even though most recently Solskjaer's been going with Smalling and Lindelof as a centre back partnership, of course, as well. And they're blending in fantastically well together, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. And I think Bay could be on his way out of Manchester United this summer, because he's been in and out of the team this season, as Eric Bay, of course, as well. But I still think he's got great potential. Phil Jones, could he be on his way out of Manchester United this summer as well, because he's been a long-serving player at Manchester United, of course, as well. But obviously, we know that we're heavily linked with Napoli's Koulibaly. Some reports were saying that Manchester United had been informed, that Koulibaly could cost him the access of at least £130 million to convince Napoli, to sanction him off this summer. The Metro actually reported that, Napoli wanted around £150 million, and if this was to process in the summer, this would obviously, make him the third most expensive player of all time, obviously making the most expensive defender in world football, and make him our most expensive signing as well, because Koulibaly's a really good player, and he'd be a great leader in our back line, of course, as well. And obviously, Man United have been long admirers of the player. We were linked to him in January, linked to him last summer as well. Man United in the process had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly, back in the January transfer window as well. It wasn't too long ago he signed a new deal, so he's on contract with Napoli now till 2023. He's age 27, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you, as well. Napoli only paid £6-7 million from Genk, or something like that, as well. But I do really highly rate Koulibaly, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Recent reports did say he was happy at Napoli, was committed to Napoli, but he was happy, he was attracting interest, Koulibaly, of course, well. But the recent bid we had turned down, of course, was £95 million, of course, as well. So Manchester United have been heavily linked with him. I think he's one of our priority targets, to be quite honest with you, as well. But reports do say that Napoli president and Napoli board have confirmed Man United will have to pay in the excess of around £130 million to maybe convince Napoli to sanction him off this summer, as well. He's versatile, he's good in the air, he shows that ability to play out from the back, of course, and it would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League, of course, as well. But he'd address our defensive deficiencies, fantastically well, if he was to come in. So it doesn't mean we're going to get him, but, Man United probably, will go all out, to try and sign him this summer. And other defenders Manchester United have been interested in, obviously, being Leicester's Harry Maguire. I've been keeping you up to date on a regular basis about Harry Maguire. Reports do now say that reportedly Leicester have risen their price tag, and reports do say that Leicester want around £90 million for Harry Maguire this summer if Manchester United have got any chances of signing the player. So obviously, it's potentially making the most expensive defender in world football, of course, because we know the most expensive defender in world football at the moment is obviously Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk, who they paid £75 million for in January of last year. So he has been at Liverpool just over a year now. But Harry Maguire reportedly Leicester want around £90 million. Manchester United were into him last summer, but Leicester were reluctant, to let him go, of course, as well. And of course, he's English as well. He's 26 years of age, I think, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. And I think he's open to the move, is Harry Maguire, to be quite honest with you, because obviously he was talking about his ambitions, to be playing in Champions League football and, going to a team that's capable of winning trophies and, it's going to a team that's capable of winning trophies and challenging for trophies and all this. But obviously, reportedly, would take a fee of around £90 million, reportedly, to convince, Leicester to sanction him off, of course, as well. Manchester United, of course, are capable of doubling Harry Maguire's wages as well. So he's been a potential Manchester United target, of course, and he only signed a new deal last season, a 5-year deal until 2023 as well. But I think he's been at Leicester a couple of seasons now as Harry Maguire. But Manchester United have been linked with him, of course, as well. So his name's been mentioned in the media. And other defenders, that Manchester United have been interested in, as well as obviously, being Real Madrid's Rafael Varane. Man United have been linked to him, and there has been reports coming out in the media in relation to Rafael Varane, saying that reportedly, in relation to Rafael Varane, saying that reportedly he's told his teammates that reportedly he wants to leave Real Madrid this summer. There's been reports saying he's considering leaving Real Madrid this summer. Recent reports did say he's not unhappy though at Madrid. He still feels happy at Real Madrid because he's remained loyal to Real Madrid for about 8 years now, because I think he's been at Real Madrid about 8 years, as Rafael Varane, as we all know. obviously he's won a host of honours. He must have won about 15, 16 major honours, something like that. And that's a remarkable achievement, for a player that's only, 25 years of age. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him as Rafael Varane as well. And he's a world-class centre-back. And we do need a world-class centre-back. We need an experienced centre-back, of course, because we haven't had one since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand and all that as well. But reportedly, Rafael Varane's being mentioned. I think he's made about over 200 appearances for Real Madrid. He's got a huge release clause in his current deal of around 431 million or something like that. But he's under contract with Real Madrid till 2022, as we all know as well. He's Rafael Varane. He reads the game well. He's good in the air. He shows that ability to play out from the back, and he looked very, very good alongside Lindelof in our central defensive area as well. So he's been a potential Manchester United target, of course, as well. But we've been linked, with a host of defenders. We've been linked with a host of defenders, of course, as well. So obviously, it's essential that Manchester United, get the right players this summer, of course, as well. But we know the number one target. We know the number one target for Manchester United, of course, is Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho, and he's our number one priority target for this summer, of course, as well. We do know he's going to cost quite a bit of money, is Jadon Sancho, but obviously we've got the financial power, to meet his valuation, of course, as well. Manchester, there's been a narrative going on about it for the last 4 or 5 weeks now, at least, that Man United have been heavily linked to him. He's attracted interest from quite a few teams across Europe as well as Jadon Sancho, as we all know as well. But reports have been coming out saying that Man United believe we can land him for around 70, 80 million pounds or something like that. Borussia Dortmund may demand that they want a 9-figure sum of around 100 million pounds, even though recent reports did say, that they've ruled out selling Jadon Sancho reportedly. But Manchester United have been heavily linked to him. But he's a really, really good player. He shows that ability to attack. He scores goals. He provides that width very, very well, because he is mainly a winner, is Jadon Sancho, and he's only young. He's only 19 years of age, of course, as well. Manchester United have been heavily linked to him. Manchester United officials, met up, with Jadon Sancho's representatives over a possible summer transfer as well. But Manchester United have been linked to him, and he's only young. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you, as well. And we need someone who can play between the bylines and put them crosses into the box. And I think Jadon Sancho is the solution to Manchester United's problems. He's on the contract with Borussia Dortmund till 2022. Don't forget, obviously Borussia Dortmund, have been known for doing business with their players, of course, as well in the past. And obviously, if we were to get him, obviously, he probably would make him the most expensive English footballer ever. Probably maybe make him our most expensive signing as well, if we were to get him for £100 million. But we still believe that we could maybe land him for 70, 80 million pounds, of course. So this would make him the most expensive English footballer ever. He's served a couple of years at Borussia Dortmund now, as we all know. Obviously, he's a former Manchester City player. He served a couple of years at City. Never got guaranteed to get in the first team or play regularly. This is the main reason he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund paid around £8 million for him from Manchester City, of course, as well. Only broke into the England first team last year as well. Did Jadon Sancho, but his performances in Germany have been absolutely fantastic indeed. And I think he complements our attacking line very, very well. And he is Manchester United's main priority target. Is Jadon Sancho as well. So we've identified him as our number one target. Other targets Manchester United have been interested in as well, of course, is Sporting Lisbon's Bruno Fernandes. And it did say Solsjaker told the board his 3 top targets, reportedly as well. And reportedly, it did say Bruno Fernandes is reportedly on that list. He's, as I've updated you before about him, he's 24 years of age. He's Portuguese, as we all know, so he is still young. He's Bruno Fernandes. And I think Solskjaer's keen on adding a new addition in that midfield, to be quite honest with him. We could probably see Bruno Fernandes as a good replacement for Herrera, and that, if Herrera does leave Manchester United this summer. So Bruno Fernandes is 24, he's Portuguese, he's at Sporting Lisbon. Reportedly, he's had a good season this season with Sporting Lisbon, of course. Obviously, reportedly, I think it did say that he's got a 90 million release clause in his current deal with Sporting Lisbon. He actually spent the majority of his career, in Italy, before, he was at Sampdoria, he was at Udinese, and all that as well. Don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you, but I know Sporting Lisbon paid around £8 million for him from Sampdoria, of course, as well. I still think he's under contract with Sporting Lisbon till 2022, or is it 2023, or something like that as well. But Manchester United have showed an interest, and reports are coming out from Portugal, stemming from Portugal, saying that Manchester United, have made contact, with Bruno Fernandes' representatives as well. But reportedly his release clause is around 90 million. Reports did say we could end up getting him in a cut price transfer as well. So there's been talks about Bruno Fernandes going on in the media as well, as I've currently heard about. And other rumours that are going on as well. Obviously Manchester, there's been a lot of talk going on about Philippe Coutinho, as we all know. He's not Manchester United's priority, is Philippe Coutinho, even though we heard the rumours back in the January transfer window, that Manchester United were reportedly linked with Philippe Coutinho. Man United had made negotiations with his representatives and all that, but he's not a priority for Manchester United because there's been speculation about him leaving Barcelona this summer because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time in Spain, with Barcelona. He's been there, about 13, 14 months or something like that. He's been very inconsistent, but he hasn't really been getting the game time and he hasn't been playing regularly, that he would have liked, Philippe Coutinho. So he has failed to replicate the form, that he did do at Liverpool, because he did have 5 great years with Liverpool. So in that aspect, he is Premier League proven as Coutinho. There has been talks about him possibly, making a return back to the Premier League, of course, as well. So I still think he's got a long contract with Barcelona's Coutinho. He's mainly an attacking midfielder. He can actually also operate as a winner as well, can Philippe Coutinho as well. Recent reports did say, that he's, spoke to some Manchester United players, regarding the move this summer. Reportedly, he's keen on making a return back to the Premier League. But obviously, Barcelona paid 142 or was it 143 million pounds for him from Liverpool in January of last year, of course, as well. So he's the third most expensive player of all time as well at the moment is Philippe Coutinho, still 26, still got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you. But a lot of Manchester United fans wouldn't want to recommend him to come in the summer as well. But he's another player that's also being mentioned in the media. But Solsjaker, I think, told Manchester United as well. He actually has told Manchester United and he's told Ed Woodward as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that he wants to sell 3 players this summer at least. And obviously that's going to be Valencia who's going to be leaving this summer. Marcus Rojo's probably on his way out as well. I think, obviously Solskjaer said the 3 players he wants to get rid of. Rojo was one of them. The Rojo's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, of course. With a string of injuries he's had, he struggled to get a run of games under his belt as Marcus Rojo. And obviously we do need to get rid of a centre-back, obviously to make room for a new centre-back, to come in as well. So I think Rojo's going to be the one that's going to departing in the summer. I think Darmian's on his way out of Manchester United as well, to be quite honest with you as well, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United. Obviously paid over, £12 million for him from Torino, of course, as well. So I think Darmian's on his way out in this summer. Alexis Sánchez as well, I think he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer as well, is Alexis Sánchez. Alexis Sánchez, to be quite honest with you, he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, of course. He's been very, very inconsistent. He's been here, just over a year now, as Alexis Sánchez, as we all know. And he's been very, very poor indeed. And, when he has been playing, he just looks so restricted and he just looks as though he hasn't been getting the freedom. And it just emphasises how ineffective, Sánchez has been to Manchester United, of course. Well, he's been here, 13, 14 months now. He's been very, very poor. He's obviously now out with an knee injury at the moment, as well as Alexis Sánchez. So I think he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer. Considering his substantial wages he's on, it's going to be obviously hard to find a buyer for Sánchez. So Man United may consider loaning him out, or maybe come to an agreement, will Sánchez, take a wage cut or something like that as well. But he's been very, very poor indeed as Alexis Sánchez. So potentially he's age 30 now. He has lost that yard of pace, of course, as Sánchez as well. So potentially I think he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer as well. So he's been very, very inconsistent, and I think Solskjaer's lost faith in him and he's lost trustworthy in Alexis Sánchez, of course, as well. As I have been updating you guys in relation to Paul Pogba as well. And Paul Pogba's been one of our most influential players since Solskjaer's coming in this 3 month or so period. Paul Pogba's been absolutely tremendous for Manchester United. Of course, he's been getting that freedom to express himself. He's been providing good service to the front men and all that, and he's been scoring and providing and all that, and he's been in great form as Paul Pogba, as we all know. And obviously now that he knows that obviously Solskjaer's been appointed full-time manager, obviously he should want to stay at Manchester United, Paul Pogba. But we do know that recent, reports have been coming out from Spain that reportedly Paul Pogba's decided that he wants to reportedly leave Manchester United this summer, and he's interested in making a move back to Italy, or he's trying to push for a move to Real Madrid, of course, is Paul Pogba as well. So reports have been saying that Paul Pogba is demanding a significant pay rise in terms of an annual wage. So reportedly Paul Pogba is demanding that he wants around 14 million, is it 13.65 million or 14 million a year if he's to join Real Madrid. And obviously this would make him the highest paid player at Real Madrid, of course, as well. Obviously his agent Raiola, Paul Pogba's agent Raiola, is in the process of trying to find Paul Pogba a new club as well. But Paul Pogba a new club as well. But obviously recent reports, basically said, Paul Pogba, has been talking a lot about Real Madrid, saying it's a dream for Real Madrid's a dream for anyone. He said it's one of the biggest clubs in the world, and he did describe Real Madrid as a dream club, did Paul Pogba and all this. And obviously I think Paul Pogba intends to go to Real Madrid this summer, of course, as well, because he did say he admits playing for Zinedine Zidane at Real Madrid, would be a dream for Paul Pogba as well. We've had him here since 2016. We paid obviously £89 million for him. Obviously, our most expensive signing. Of course, he is still under contract here. Don't forget until 2021. Is Paul Pogba as well. Reports of saying that he's turned down a contract offer from Manchester United as well. As Paul Pogba. So I think in the process, reportedly, he wants to move to Real Madrid this summer. And as I did say to you guys, obviously, I think if Mourinho would have still been here, of course, Paul Pogba would have gone, because obviously he had a bad relationship, with Jose Mourinho. Did Paul Pogba, of course. Well, the rumours last year of him going to Barcelona or making a return back to Juventus, of course, as well. But recent reports have come out from Spain saying that reportedly he's decided and he wants to leave Manchester United, reportedly, this summer. Does Paul Pogba as well. He wants to leave Manchester United this summer as well. So there has been a lot of rumours going on about that, but reports are saying that Manchester United, if any offers do come for Paul Pogba in the summer, Man United will reject any offers for him, of course, as well as it has been currently mentioned. And obviously in relation to Ander Herrera, I've been keeping you up to date on mainly as well. As we do know, reports have been coming out about Ander Herrera saying that reportedly, PSG have expressed an interest in Ander Herrera. It's also said, that Arsenal have also been interested in Ander Herrera as well. And at the moment, I think Ander Herrera's future is up in the air, to be quite honest with you as well. His future's up in the air. Recent reports did say Ander Herrera's admitted, PSG's transfer interest is logical to him, but I think he's unsure about his Manchester United future. This is his 5th season at Manchester United. Manchester United have been in the process, of trying to, convince him, to sign a new contract, and Man United are still in talks, but yet we had to come to an agreement, to get Ander Herrera a new contract. And recent reports did say he wanted to stay, and he was keen on signing a contract extension, was Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But reportedly PSG had expressed an interest. It did say PSG willing to offer him £150,000 a week plus a 3-year deal as well. So I think he's demanding a significant pay rise in his wages. Is Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But PSG are looking for someone to partner Marco Verratti in their midfield, as it's looking likely that Adrien Rabiot is on his way out of PSG this summer, of course, as well. But yeah, it says Arsenal have also been interested in Ander Herrera as well. So hopefully, he can remain loyal to Manchester United. He's been very, very consistent under Alexis Sánchez. He's been playing very, very well in that midfield trio as Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But the main part of this video is, guys, to give you an update on that Alexis Sánchez has been named Manchester United manager on a permanent basis. It is a 3-year deal. He's currently signed. As I did say at the beginning of the video, initially it did say, Man United wanted it officially announced before the end of the season, but it did then say Manchester United want to officially announce it before the end of this month, of course, as well. So I did say Man United were going to have talks, of sorting Alexis Solsjaker permanent contract out, during this international break, and we've done it at the right time as well. The players are now prepared for the Watford game at the weekend as well, and obviously that preview will be coming up very, very soon indeed. As I heard, I think 8 players are set to return for Manchester United, for this game against Watford at the weekend. I think about 5 or 6 of our players, had to withdraw from international duty. I think through injury as well. I think this was it Martial, Luke Shaw, Rashford, Lukaku, and Nemanja Matic, of course, as well. I think Lingard is set to return as well, which is very, very good. It also said Valencia and Darmian and Bay could be, I think, are going to be available as well, but obviously it's unlikely Valencia will play. Probably Bay won't play, and Darmian won't play, even though I think they are going to be available, of course, as well. And the preview will be coming up for that, and obviously we're going against an informed Watford team who were playing really, really well this season under Javier Gracia, of course, as well. So they're sitting 8th in the league, of course. Obviously, we're sitting 2 points behind top 4 at the moment as well. We are 2 points behind Arsenal, I think. Yes, we are. I think we're 3 points behind Tottenham as well. So yeah, so we've got to win against Watford at the weekend, to keep our top 4 ambitions alive, of course, as well. So, as I did say, guys, and obviously, Lukaku, I'm not too sure what's going on with Lukaku at the moment, if he's going to be available for Saturday or not. Obviously, he's sustained a foot injury as Romelu Lukaku as well. So, some reports saying he could be available, some are saying he's a major doubt, so I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you, as well. But as I did currently say, it's good news, that he's got the job on a full-time basis, of course, because obviously, since Alex Ferguson's retired, we had great success under Alex Ferguson. He did well in the transfer markets. We won a lot of silverware, of course. And then since he left, we've been, we've been not so good. Obviously, we've had 3 managers, with different philosophies and all that as well. So hopefully now, so far Solskjaer's brought the fear factor back to the club, but now, this is going to be the tester for Solskjaer. And I know Manchester United have spent a hell of a lot of money, since Ferguson retired, but obviously we didn't invest in January. So Solskjaer is going to have his say on our transfer plans this summer. What players are going to come in, what players are going to leave as well. So we've got to get the right players, of course, if we are going to be, title contenders for the new season as well. So anyway, drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do consider subscribing to my channel,